Good afternoon, everybody. It is time for some afternoon baseball. The Arizona Diamondbacks are taking on the New York Mets. This is the Mets' last home game before they go on a little bit of a road trip. This last little bit has been pretty good, but the Mets have been kind of inconsistent, most notably with some major bullpen issues that the Mets are facing today. Hi, everybody. This is MetropoliFins. We are YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. My name is Craig. I am very excited to be here with you today, and hopefully this will turn out to be a much better day for the Mets than yesterday was. The Mets are actually starting Kodai Senga today versus having an opener yesterday. So we've got some little updates on all sorts of things. Danny Young is going on the injured list. He might also be out the rest of the season. AJ Minter might be out the rest of the season. But Danny Young could return earlier, but I've also heard rumors that it could be worse than what it actually was. So Genesis Cabrera is going to be coming up. I'm going to see if I have any other updates on the rest of the roster moves, because we do have all sorts of guys who are coming and going. People are moving up and down very, very quickly. So let's see if I can figure it out here from the bullpen. Yeah, Genesis Cabrera and Ty Adcock. Both of those names you might recognize from our spring training coverage. Both of those guys are coming up. So it's two fresh new arms. I'm going to assume Brazoban is probably not available today since he pitched the opener yesterday with 2 innings. Diaz warmed up yesterday but did not come into the game. So it's kind of going to be Stanek is probably not available. We shouldn't pitch him, at least, unless it's a blowout. But I think Kranick is available today. And Buteau, even though Buteau's been struggling, he's probably available today. Adcock, Genesis Cabrera, Edwin Diaz. So it's kind of a piecemeal thing for the New York Mets as they are just trying to keep this bullpen together. Of course, the Mets started out with absolute phenomenal performances by the bullpen to start this year, but there are just lots of cracks showing, lots of injuries that, of course, the Mets just have to deal with, and that's just part of life in the major leagues. You've got to be able to find guys who can consistently step up. So the game is scheduled to start here in just about 2 minutes or so. I'm going to read to you the New York Mets starting lineup for today. It is pretty close to full strength. Pretty close. So it's Lindor leading off, playing short. Batting second, Juan Soto in right. Third, Pete Alonso at first base. Cleanup today is Jesse Winker. Yesterday, and that's the DH. Yesterday, Vientos had the 4-hole. Today, Vientos is going to the 5-hole, and he's third base. Batting sixth is Nimmo in left. Looks to be fully recovered. He came in as a pinch hitter yesterday and is good. Dexter, how's it going? We're just going over the New York Mets starting lineup for the game here today. Hope you are doing well. Batting seventh is Luis Torrens, the catcher. Batting eighth, Jeff McNeil playing second base. And in center is Tyrone Taylor. Mika, how's it going? Appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're talking New York Mets baseball and really all things baseball. There's a couple other games going on as well with this game, and a couple other games starting, as well as a couple more starting later this afternoon. The bench for the Mets today is actually going to be pretty strong. You'll have Marte on the bench. You'll have Luis Angel Acuna on the bench for either speed or defense. Francisco Alvarez is going to also be on the bench, and Azokar as well. Dexter, I don't do much with NBA. I mostly do baseball and football. Those are kind of my two main sports. Baseball is my first love, and as a full-blooded American male, I'm kind of required to like football as well. How's it going, Red Man? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets make a deal for a closer at some point. I've been to basketball games, Dexter. I'm just not a huge NBA fan myself, so I just never really grew up watching basketball. Just always grew up baseball. Baseball was the spring and summer, and football was the fall and winter sports, and that was it. So, but I went to a couple New Jersey Nets games back when they were the New Jersey Nets, old school, and then been to a couple of Timberwolves games. And then for hockey, I've been to a couple Wild games and one New Jersey Devils game way back in the day. So I've seen it. I don't necessarily hate it. They're just, you know, only have so much time in life to cover sports. So I just try to focus on mostly baseball, football, mostly Mets and Dolphins. But as we are trying to grow this channel, maybe we can cover it. All right, so that's the full lineup for the Diamondbacks. I'll just run through their lineup here really quick. It's Corbin Carroll, Perdomo, Pavin Smith, Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Alec Thomas, Awa, and Herrera is catching. That's the 1 through 9. Pitching today is Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen is pitching. So, yes, we get that. I get my fair amount of WWE comparisons. Yumi, no. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. Similar, I don't watch a lot of soccer, but I did play soccer when I was in high school. Played 2 years, junior and senior in high school. I was a goalie. I was a goalie for our upstart soccer team. So, yeah, Luis Torrens catching for the Mets today. So maybe a slight decrease in the offense, a slight increase in the defense there. Hopefully the Mets can just shut out the Diamondbacks and then score a bunch of runs. There's the first pitch. It's going to be outside. 1 ball, no strikes. So Corbin Carroll's off to a good start. This series he's 0 for 8, but this season he's been really a good start. But there's been plenty of players who have struggled a little bit against the Mets this year. So, all right. So it's 2 balls and no strikes. Senga trying to locate the strike zone. Ryru. How do I say that? Is it Ryru? Oh, sorry, I totally botched that name. Why do you despise the Mets so much? We have not harmed anybody for a long time. 2 balls, 1 strike. That ball's going to fall in just in front of Nimmo for a leadoff single. It went right off the end of the bat. Reluctant, how's it going? Too many Mets fans. I don't know. Probably depends on where you live. I live in Florida. I don't see too many Mets fans. I wear Mets stuff out. I'll get 1 or 2 people reacting. But there's way more Braves fans down this part of the country. I don't know. There aren't many come lately Mets fans. Oh, it's all good. What's your team though? What's your team? That's fouled away. No balls, 1 strike. So leadoff base hit for Corbin Carroll, his first hit of the series. Is really a bloop. Sitting like bloop. Redman, if Edwin Diaz is Mets closer, why is Edwin Diaz not pitching important games? Well, that's kind of one of the questions we got to do. All right, so hey, you guys are off to a great start this year. We've got another regular, Arnell. He's not in here right now, but Arnell is another regular Giants fan. So goes into some of the games. He went to the home opener for the Giants. So, hey, all us Mets fans are rooting for you Giants to take down the Dodgers. So we have a common opponent. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's the way I look at everybody else. Maybe someday the Mets will be the most hated team. Maybe. But right now, all vitriol and vile should be directed towards the Dodgers for now. Still someone from the NL can take them down. Then you can hate on them. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Perdomo here. But yeah, I mean, that NL West is just absolutely loaded. You have to see him a little bit more than we do. Not quite as much as you used to in that unbalanced schedule. But yeah, here's 1-2 pitch. Actually going to be a toss over to first by Senga. Corbin Carroll does have the ability to steal a base. Luis Torrens is good hitting. Yeah, I mean, he's been very serviceable and definitely doesn't feel like a huge downgrade on the days when Alvarez sits. There's a swing and a miss by Perdomo, so there's the first out. And first strikeout on the Ghost Fork. Woo! On the coast work. Yeah, don't get you started on the Dodgers. Don't get anybody started on the Dodgers. The ultimate thing is, though, it is not easy to win in the majors, no matter how good your team is. Because you look at it and you're like, oh my goodness, how can anyone beat the Dodgers? And here we are. Plenty of teams have beat the Dodgers this year, most notably the Cubs. First pitch is going to be actually throw over to first as well here. Pavin Smith coming up for the Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll tries to steal. Luis Torrens guns him down with a perfect throw, which is what we were saying. With Torrens, you might get a slight drop in your offensive production, but your defense, man, so nice to have a catcher. Hard to steal off of. Well, I mean, Otani definitely is struggling a little bit. I mean, he was easily out, guys. He was out by almost a full stride. I mean, I think the thing with Otani that makes him special is he rarely misses a mistake. There's a strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Pavin Smith. So Torrens has caught 49% of would-be base stealers here. The league average over the last 2 years is 21%. So obviously it's a team thing, getting better at holding runners. And there's a strikeout to retire the side. So not a 1-2-3 inning, but 2 strikeouts with 2 ghost forks. I do. I actually usually I put the link in the chat. So let me do this. I'll throw my eBay store up for anybody who wants to do. That's the best way that you can support this small little channel right now. I actually just sold a home field advantage Buster Posey card, $35 card, sold earlier today to somebody. So let me quickly, I will throw up the link in the chat if you guys want to check out the eBay store. Never feel like you have to, but always appreciate it. And just let me know if you see something you like. If you're on you, just say like I saw you on YouTube, and I'll cut you the best deal that I possibly can. So appreciate all that. So there we go. There's the link in the one chat. We'll pin that, and we'll throw the link in the other chat as well. Francisco Lindor is better than all shortstops. There's quite a few people who would agree with that. So, all right. So there you go. For anybody who cares, don't feel obligated. But if you want to go check out the eBay store, mostly baseball, football cards, a few other random sports cards in there, and beyond that, some other random stuff we're just trying to get rid of too. We just throw it all on the eBay store. Francisco Lindor is going to be leading off for the Mets. So you got to get your. All right, you got to get your My Girl singing on here. All right, it's nothing Mets. We are going to the bottom of the first inning. Lindor, Soto, Alonso due up for the Mets here. Appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out with us here today. Please hit that subscribe. We are on the journey to 300 subscribers, with our next checkpoint being 250. I would love to get there today. We're at 239, so we're looking for 11 new subscribers. We're trying to get to 500 by the All-Star break. That's the goal. First pitch to Lindor is a strike. Second pitch is fouled out of play. Francisco Lindor is king of baseball. I love it, Red Man. King of baseball. That's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Francisco Lindor. We are rocking and rolling today. My son has a must-win Little League game tonight, or the season is over. If they lose, it's over. Even if they win, it might be over. They got to win by like 5 runs and give up like less than 3 runs. So they need to win like 7-2 or 8-3, something like that, to try to move on to the next round to get out of pool play. It's really close. We have to win to create the tie, and then we have to win the tiebreaker. What can make me feel this way? Lindor, Lindor. That was fouled on a play by Francisco Lindor as well. So Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Winker, Vientos, Nimmo is back from his little sickness. Torrens already threw out a base runner day. McNeil and Tyrone Taylor. This is flied out to left field. Gurriel gets under it. And that's going to be the first out in the bottom of the first inning. Francisco Lindor is awesome. He can make plays like an all-star. Yep, he should be an all-star. Then Redman's going all the way to best player in baseball. I don't know if I would hop that far. I think it's pretty hard to argue against anyone except Aaron Judge to start the season. As much as I don't like Yankees. Soto is at the plate now. First pitch is a ball. Barely. It looks like it was almost a strike. Zach Allen is not someone who Soto has had a lot of success off of in his career. It's May. It's time for Fast to wake up. That one's going to get called a strike. That was a little further out than the previous pitch. But they called that one the strike. So, all in all, 1 ball, 1 strike to Soto. That's low and inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Every coach, manager, player, umpire, everybody's going to make mistakes throughout the season, Redman. It's not all on Carlos Mendoza. Like last night was not on Mendoza. Last night was on relievers just not doing their job and hitters not knocking runs in when they should. 3 balls, 1 strike, Juan Soto here. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Feel free to chime in with whoever you are rooting for, whatever team you got. Soto rips it up the middle, but shortstop is there, and he's going to be retired. That's 2 outs. 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Still nothing. Soto needs a mental day off. I wonder if it would be beneficial to just let Soto be a designated hitter for a day or two. Jonathan, you are at Citi Field. Well, say hello to everyone for us. This is fouled off down the right field line. What can make me feel this way? Alonso. First pitch to, actually, second pitch to Pete. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Pete Alonso. So, yeah, Jonathan, I hope you are enjoying the game day. It looks like it's beautiful weather there today. Looks absolutely beautiful. There's a ground ball base hit for Pete Alonso. Well, so with the Mets have just no pitching options in the bullpen right now. That's fine. Everybody's hurt. You have to put somebody out, and you can't pitch guys more than what their arms can hold. So there's just that's why the Mets are rotating. We got Genesis Cabrera and Ty Adcock are both up from the minors today. That's to replace the 2 guys that they had to send back down who pitched yesterday. It's just when your bullpen is hurting and your pitchers are hurting, it's a tough position to be in. First pitch to Jesse Winker is a ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Pete Alonso on first. That's a swing and a miss by Winker. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's, I guess, low. Looked like it was a strike to me. 2 balls, 1 strike to Winker. Mets are trying to get a first inning run home like they did yesterday. That's going to be a curveball for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jesse Winker. There's the 1-2 pitch is ball high. So I got someone reaching out about a Facebook marketplace. All right. 3 ball, 2 strike count to Jesse Winker. Winker fouls that back. Mets left 13 runners on base last night, which is really a poor showing. That's part of the reason why we lost. Another foul back by Winker. The bullpen was rough, other than the guy we brought up for the day. All right, here's the 3-2 pitch to Jesse Winker. Oh, throws him with a strike right down the middle. I appreciate everybody being with us here today. Please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're going to the top of the 2nd inning. Mets rallied a little bit there, but unable to score. Pete Alonso with the hit. And we're going top of the 2nd. Kodai Senga back in. Kodai faced the minimum in the 1st. Did give up a hit, but Mets were able to retire him. Specifically, Luis Torrens was able to retire him on a caught stealing. So 4, 5, and 6 are headed up for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So that'll be Josh Naylor, A. Eugenio Suarez, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. That's 4, 5, and 6. Vitalik, how's it going? So I've got some stuff up on Facebook Marketplace. We're trying to get the sale done, but it's already one of those customers who doesn't read anything in your description, so I don't think it's going to go well. For those of you who sold on Facebook Marketplace, you can just kind of tell usually based on how the initial reactions go. Grounder to McNeil at 2nd. He throws it over to 1st. When they just can't answer simple questions, it's almost always, a lot of times it's a language barrier down here. There's a lot of people who are not native English speakers, so sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's cultural barriers, just how people like to negotiate. 1 ball, no strike to Eugenio Suarez. I need the time. You are wanting to come. I can see if it works. I try to hold people to a specific time on Facebook Marketplace. There's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Eugenio Suarez. they're struggling to answer basic questions, and so like I want to get it sold, but also I don't like getting stressed out over Facebook Marketplace. That one's in the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Eugenio Suarez. The world of trying to sell things on Facebook Marketplace. So let me know your horror stories of doing that. You can talk about that as well. All right. Perfect. Perfectly. You know. Try to really really do that. All right. So and then once you hold them to a time, then you can report them if they don't show up. This is flying out to center field for Eugenio Suarez. Sorry, conducting business. There's a baseball game going on. So I might have to go and do the meetup somewhere in the middle of the game. Hopefully, it will not be anything crazy because they said around 3 o'clock. So that would be probably around the 5th or 6th inning. All right, here we go. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is at the plate. Rick, how's it going? First pitch is a nice strike, poured right down the middle. No balls, 1 strike. Get started here. Nothing. Top of the 2nd inning with 2 outs. Swing and maybe a foul tip. No balls, 2 strikes to Gurriel. Selling our old fryer. Not doing too much with fried food anymore. Maddox, how's it going? So there's the 0-2 pitch to Lourdes Gurriel Jr. It's chopped foul down the 3rd baseline. There's 2 outs here. Kodai Senga has faced the minimum so far. He has given up a hit, but still faced the minimum in terms of total batters. Due up for the Mets in the 2nd inning will be Vientos, Nimmo, and Luis Torrens, 5, 6, and 7. It's nothing. Top of the 2nd. Mets trying to bounce back from a tough loss. Another foul back there by Gurriel. Remains no balls and 2 strikes. There's a pitch in the dirt. The ghost fork does not swing at it there. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Appreciate everybody hanging out. We are MetropoliFins, YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. My name is Craig, and we are just coming to you with some live New York Mets baseball here today. Swing and a miss. There's the forkball strikeout. Woo! With the ghost fork. It is 0-0. We are headed to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It remains 0-0. Like we said, due up for the Mets here will be Vientos, Nimmo, and then Luis Torrens. The Mets got 1 hit in the top of the 1st. That was a single by Pete the Met, Pete Alonso. So I hope everybody is doing well. Today we're on commercial break, so you are not missing anything. Let me know what you guys want to talk about beyond sports stuff as well. Let's do this. Let me just run a little scoreboard update because there are a few afternoon games going on. It is getaway day, which in baseball means there's a lot of teams that are going to be traveling today for games tomorrow, so they try to play afternoon games on those days so teams can travel and get to where they need to go. Games currently going on. Top of the 4th, the Reds lead the Cardinals 2-1. Reds came into this series pretty hot, but the Cardinals have just shut them down completely. The Pirates lead the Cubs 2-0. That's top of the fourth. Our game, of course, is 0-0. The Rays have an early lead over the Royals, 1-0. Guardians over the Twins, 1-0. So those are the games that are in progress at the moment. And then there's two games starting in the 2 o'clock hour. You got Brewers at White Sox, followed up a little bit later by Athletics and Rangers. So that's what's going on right now. If you've got any questions about anything, let me know. The Mets roulette in the bullpen continues as they brought up two new pitchers today. So specifically, Genesis Cabrera and Ty Adcock both came up, a new lefty, a new righty for the bullpen. First pitch, Mark Vientos, is a strike, and then he's going to use his timeout here. Johnny, how's it going? Appreciate you being here with us today. So we are covering the Mets game here live. It is 0-0, bottom of the second with Mark Vientos at the plate. That is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. They're re-showing the home run that Vientos hit last night. Unfortunately, it was still not enough runs. There's a little blooper, but it's going to hold up long enough to be caught. So there's going to be 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Brandon Nimmo coming to the plate for the Mets here. Here's the first pitch. That's a little bit high. Grounded down to second base for Nimmo here, and he's going to be thrown out. So there's 2 quick outs in the bottom of the second inning. Mets bats cold. The bats have been cold. Ever since I started the stream yesterday, the Mets bats went cold. Just how it goes. The 2 games I don't stream, the Mets score like 26 runs or something like that. That pitch is high. This is Luis Torrens. Closest thing the Mets have to a star in the game today with the runner that he caught stealing at second base in the first inning. That's 2 balls in a row. 2 balls, no strikes to Luis Torrens. I guess the other star of the game so far early on for the Mets is Kodai Senga. 1 hit, no runs through 2 innings pitched so far, faced the minimum. Two balls, 2 strikes to Luis Torrens. Excuse me. 2 outs, bottom of the second. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Score is 0-0. Luis takes that one as a ball, so it's going to be a full count. Jeff McNeil is on deck to be followed by Tyrone Taylor. And that's going to be outside for a ball 4. So Torrens works the walk to get the 2-out base runner. It's the second inning in a row. The Mets have got an ace 2-out base runner. See if the Mets can do something with that 2-out base runner this inning, unlike the first inning. So let me know what baseball teams you guys follow. Let's we'll pose a question of the day here too, or maybe not even of the day. We'll just do it. All right. Diving catch made all the way in the outfield. Jeff McNeil gave it a run, and it's kind of like a sliding, diving grab by Thomas. That retires McNeil. McNeil gave it a ride, but unfortunately, once again, the Mets just keep hitting the ball where the other team is, and we've had a lot of that this year, as well as a lot of weak ground balls. We've had some really well struck balls right at players, and then a lot of poorly hit balls too. And that just kind of this continued, not panic signs, but things that I'm watching as a Mets fan. Like, why are we struggling so much to get the ball into play? Well, that being said, we're going to the top of the third. So we're gonna throw out a discussion question for you guys that you can comment. Doesn't have to be a Mets player. Who is your favorite current Major League Baseball player? So of currently in the major leagues, who is your favorite player? So let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. That'll be our third inning question, at least. Third inning question. Who is your favorite current Major League Baseball player? All right. It is going to the top of the third inning. For me, I've probably got a couple, so you can pick more than one too. But well, on the Mets, probably my favorite players are Brandon Nimmo and Tyler McGill. Those are probably my two favorite Mets players. Lots of good guys to choose from, but just the ones that I've kind of enjoyed following their careers the most. If you go talk major leagues, definitely have a soft spot for Ellie De La Cruz. He kind of plays the game the way it was played in the '80s. He's kind of got those, shadows of Ricky Henderson, kind of that old school hustle player. I like any guy who's going to just regularly go first to third, who's going to look for ways to move up on short little pass balls. I just like small ball baseball. I've always been a fan of it. It's what I grew up with, and I just think it's a more interesting game than just guys trying to hit home runs all the time. So do that. Let's go Mets, baby! How's it going, Darren? Vitalik going with Aaron Judge. That is a not bad answer whatsoever. Aaron Judge is a great choice. I mean, Aaron Judge has the potential to go down as one of the all-time Yankee greats, which is saying a lot considering who has been on the Yankees. But he really has the chance to be in those same conversations, as Mantle and Gehrig and Ruth. He needs to have more sustained years, and hopefully his body will hold out for him. But I mean, the fact that we're getting to see in real time true generational talents like Judge and Ohtani is pretty cool, because there's been kind of a little bit of a break, right? Especially with how Trout's career has tapered off with his injuries. There's been a little bit of a break since, kind of Ichiro and Pujols. They were kind of that I don't know. There's been really good players, but when you look at some of the more recent Hall of Fame classes that have gone in, you're like, they're really good players. I wouldn't want to face any of them, but they don't have that same aura of all-time greatness that, it just feels like players of olden days have. But I do feel like Judge and Ohtani are players that potentially can be talked about for decades to come, in the same way that we talk about Ruth and Mays and Ted Williams and Lou Gehrig. So there's by the way, a single here for the Diamondbacks. Sorry, I got too into my own question. So top of the third, runner on first with the leadoff single here. Tawa is up with a no ball, one strike count. He squares to bunt, fouls it off, and gets to Renz. He's hopping the little injury off there. He'll be fine. So Tawa is in the lineup for the Diamondbacks, replacing Ketel Marte, who's currently injured. But Marte might be back this weekend when the Diamondbacks play the Phillies, so it would be good if the Diamondbacks could be at full strength and try to put some L's down on the Phillies for us Mets. It'd be better if the Mets can win this game today, though. Take care of your own business first. You gotta win games like this. You've got your ace on the mound, at least your best pitcher. If you don't want to call Senga an ace yet, I understand that, but you got your best pitcher on the mound. It's a home game, coming off a loss. Everything says you have to win this game. That's fouled away. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tawa. So here is the 1-2 pitch from Senga to Tawa. Swing and a miss. Got him swing at a high pitch that time. There's the first out of the 3rd inning. He's probably thinking anything but the fork, and he saw the pitch and it just stayed high and never came back down. It's a really good pitch there by Senga to kind of spoil one up high and get that strikeout. First pitch is a swing and a miss by Jose Herrera. Jose Herrera hitting for the Diamondbacks here. Talking about who's your favorite current Major League Baseball player. So that's on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. We got to vote for Aaron Judge. I'm definitely a fan of Ellie De La Cruz. And among the Mets players, I would say Tyler McGill and Brandon Nimmo are 2 of my favorites. All right, here's the 0-2 pitch to Herrera. It's fouled back. Remains no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch again. Almost got him to offer at it, but he held back. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count to Herrera. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. We are MetropoliFins, YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. My name is Craig. Here's the 0-2 pitch again, or the 1-2 pitch this time, and now it's fouled back. So Herrera spoiling some good pitches here. What can make me feel this way? Strikeouts, strikeouts. Here's the pitch. Oh, just a little bit low. Senga wanted that one. It was definitely a ball, but Ben Hot Rice. Soundwave likes Ben Rice. And that ball is going to be looping in for a base hit. So took the curveball and just turned it kind of inside out. So now there's 2 runners on for the Diamondbacks here. Senga's facing his first little bit of trouble on the day in the top of the 3rd. All right, Corbin Carroll's now at the plate. So this is first pitch is a swing and a miss. It's a tough spot for Kodai Senga here because the Diamondbacks just turned their lineup over. It is still 0-0 top of the third. The Diamondbacks have runners on first and third with only one out. So looking for either the strikeout or the double play here. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Corbin Carroll. Carroll had been hitless in this series until this game, and he got a single in the first inning, but then got thrown out trying to steal second on a great throw by Luis Torrens. Talk about who's your favorite current Major League Baseball players. We got Aaron Judge, Ben Rice, Ellie De La Cruz, Brandon Nimmo, Tyler McGill, some of the names we've seen thrown out. You can type your response down in the chat. Let us know. Ellie De La Cruz and Jose Ramirez switch hitters with speed and power. Yeah. I think Jose Ramirez is like critically underrated. I mean, he's building a Hall of Fame resume. I haven't looked at the stats recently to see if he's like there, like if he retired today, if he's there, but he is absolutely building a Hall of Fame resume. There's a strike 3 swinging by Corbin Carroll. So we got the one of the 2 results that we wanted, which was the strikeout. So now there's 2 outs. It's the 4th strikeout on the day by Senga. What can make me feel this way? Small ball. I wish the Mets would play small ball. First pitch is a ball. This is to Geraldo Perdomo. Geraldo? Perdomo. We'll just call him Perdomo. First pitch was a ball. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Second pitch is also a ball. Can the Mets pick up Trout on insurance? You know, if the Angels were to consider trading Trout, I don't mind that as a risky, a high risk, high reward play for the Mets. It's behind 3-0 now to Perdomo. The talent is obviously still there for Trout. I don't know if the Angels would ever trade him. I feel like that's kind of like organizational suicide since they already got rid of Ohtani. But Perdomo. And Perdomo walks, and the bases are going to be loaded. Yep. So we got a meeting at the mound with the pitching coach, the interpreter, the entire infield. Pavin Smith is going to be coming up with the bases loaded. Oh, I love Gary, Keith, and Ron. Our booth is so good. So funny. Yeah, Soto and Trout in the outfield would be crazy. Yeah. All right, here we go. There's Pavin Smith. First pitch is a strike. It's a good first pitch there by Senga. Kind of the Mets fans seem pretty quiet at the stadium today. I know it's a little hard to get enthusiastic, but I feel like you got 2 outs here in the top of the third with bases loaded. You want to kind of get behind your pitcher. Maybe if he gets 2 strikes. Well, there's 2 strikes. Let's see. There we go. Come on, fans. I know Jonathan's at the game today. Yeah, stand up. There's a guy trying to get everybody to stand up. Cheer on your pitcher. Let's go. I get it. It's warm day. You're in the sun. It's kind of been a nothing game so far, but get behind your pitcher. Let's go, Senga. Ghost time. Yep, he got him. Got him with the ghost fork. Woo! Ghost fork for the win. Senga's just so good when he's working from ahead. He reminds me a lot in terms of so much better when he gets out like Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz, if he gets behind the count, all his tricks don't work. But the tricks that Diaz has and the tricks that Senga has, they work the best when they're working from ahead in the count. Especially once they get to like 0-2, 1-2. So So we're going to commercial break. We're headed to the bottom of the third inning. It remains 0-0. It's been a whole lot of nothing so far in this game. Due up for the Mets this inning will be the following: Tyrone Taylor, Francisco Lindor, and Juan Soto. So because we see Soto coming up on the lineup, I almost called it a menu. That'd be weird. But since Soto's coming up, we'll bring out the Rally Pig. Rally Pig is just in a slump right now. He's slumping hard, but so are the Mets bats yesterday into today. So we're going for it. So we're gonna throw your pig emojis in the chat. There we go, Darren. And oh yeah, we got Ghost Fork. Do they have a fork as well? They gotta have a fork, right? Hold on. Let's go Ghost. Oh, it's a Ghost Fork and knife. That's the closest we got. The Ghost Fork and knife. All right, Tyrone Taylor leading off for the Mets. First pitch is going to be a strike. They were showing some Little League softball as they came back from break there. That pitch is fouled down the third base line for Taylor. No ball and 2 strikes. Mets are looking for some runs here, try to break this thing open. Mets probably pick up pieces on waiver wires, bullpen. Yeah, that's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Mets bullpen is just in so much trouble right now. Now, we do have some reinforcements on the way. Apparently, Daniel Nunez is still not ready. I thought for sure he was going to be called up. There's a strikeout there on Tyrone Taylor. Also, Brooks Raley is coming back. So there are reinforcements on the way. But when you're starting to lose guys for the season, it's like, ugh. Such a bummer. All right. First pitch to Lindor was a strike. Second pitch, he rolls it over. Lots of rollovers to second base. All this talk of advanced metrics, it sure feels like we don't use it that often. All right. Well, there's 2 outs. Juan Soto is up. First pitch is up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. So the Mets are going to be going to St. Louis. They swept a 4-game series from St. Louis, but I'm not sure if this team is quite as hot as that team was playing St. Louis at home. I got to go on the road. So that's high strike there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Soto. That one's low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. The Mets have no base runners on. The question is, too, can the Mets get some value for a guy like at the trade deadline, like a Starling Marte? That's low. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Soto here. Can they find someone who would trade Starling Marte for a bullpen piece? Soto called timeout late. Gallen pitched it anyway. Looks upset that Soto called time. He called it late, but they let him have time. All right. Soto walks. Well, Soto keeps finding ways to get on base, so kudos to him for sure. Probably still the overall hottest hitter in the Mets lineup is Pete Alonso. We're talking, got some coaching strategy going on for the Little League game here tonight. My gut says to give your better hitters the green light on pitch 1 so they can get a hit, but tell the rest of the hitters to instead take pitch 1. Not sure if that would be too confusing to convey to the kids individually or not. To run up the pitch count, period. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Pete. All right, we got a game tonight. I got to be in coach mode, work on Facebook Marketplace stuff. This is like multitasking to the max. Pete has a soft tapper to the right side, and he is going to be retired. Oh, man, the Mets bats have just not looked good for the last 2 days. Kirby Yates. We can do a little deep dive on Kirby Yates here. Going to the top of the 4th inning, it remains 0-0. Kodai Senga got into trouble last inning, but was able to get out of it. This is Arizona Diamondbacks at New York Mets. DIY or budget, whatever you want me to call you, let me know. Yeah, so Diamondbacks Mets, 0-0 going to the top of the 4th inning. Would the Dodgers even trade Kirby Yates? Is that who is he with now? Yeah, he's with the Dodgers still. I'm just looking up some Kirby Yates info. The problem is the Dodgers are a lot like the Mets in that they're going to try to accumulate as many bullpen arms as they possibly can because they know. And he's been around for a long time. 11 years. That's a good – I don't care who you are. If you get to play 11 years in the major leagues, that's a good career. I know it doesn't matter that much as a as a reliever, but still 3.16 career ERA as a reliever. That's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, it's just really hard to know how things are going to play out or whatever too early on in the season, Darren. And guys like Corbin Burns are not going to stay bad forever unless they're injured. First pitch to Josh Naylor is a ball. Two balls, no strikes. All right, got him to go on that pitch. Two balls, one strike. His best behind 3-0. It's a good pitch by Senga there. You're in Arizona going to the Diamondbacks Dodgers on the 9th. Hey, after this series, DIY, we will be cheering for the Diamondbacks to destroy the Dodgers the rest of the season. So it's just while we're taking on the Diamondbacks. That's the only time. That's the only time I'm cheering against them. It's a good core that you guys have. If your pitching gets back on track the way it should be. I mean, this lineup looks pretty solid up and down. Yeah, it could be Darren. Could be. So Naylor walks there. Nobody out. Runner on. First leadoff runner on for the Diamondbacks here. It's nothing. Top four. Kodai Senga's doing okay today, but I would not say he's his absolute sharpest. When he gets ahead, he looks great. When he gets behind, he looks really bad. So well, I mean, the Diamondbacks, actually, if you look at the record, they have been playing better. The Diamondbacks have been playing better over the last couple of weeks because they went from being like, I think they started the season below 500 to back to a pretty decent record and everything. So swing and a miss by Eugenio Suarez here. No balls and two strikes. I'm just like trying to look up, see if I can, and not just talking about like the Mets game yesterday. Grounded Vientos to McNeil. Back to Pete Alonso. And there's a double play, the second one of the game. Well, actually, not the second double play of the game, but the second big defensive play of the game, I would say, because you had, oh, it's really close. Oh, yeah, he's safe at first. Yeah, he's gonna be safe at first. I'll just try to freeze frame it. Yeah, there's definitely a frame where his foot is touching the bag and the ball has not even gotten in the glove yet. That's not going to be a double play. It was a good attempt by the Mets there, but I'm just trying to see. They're showing one other angle here. I'm pretty sure he beat it. I would call that indisputable proof. Yeah, they called him safe at first, so it was a good play, but it was pretty clear he beat the ball by a fraction of a step. So runner on first with one out after all that delay. This game is just moving so slow. The Mets have had so many like 3-hour games. Buckner needs to retire. Yeah, he had a rough day yesterday and today. This has not been a premier umpiring crew this series. First pitch is a ball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Runner on first, so the double play remains in order here. At least the Mets got the lead runner on that. It's 0-0, top of the fourth. Diamondbacks are up with 1 out and a runner on first. It's Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Gurriel lines that one. That's going to fall in. And base runner's going to move up. Lazy Laz Diaz. So it's going to be runners on first and second now. So this is like the ups and downs of Senga today. When he's been on, he's been really good with the strikeouts. He has 6 strikeouts on the day with 10 outs recorded. So over half of his outs have come via strikeouts. But on the batters that he's not striking out or not getting ahead on, they're consistently either walking or putting the ball into play. So it's kind of an interesting situation here. Pitch counts rising up here too, which is not good because our bullpen is so thin. He's already going to be at, this is pitch 69. Next pitch is going to be pitch 70. 1 ball, 1 strike to Alek Thomas. That's low and in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. So there's already 2 runners on. Now, looking for the double play here. The Mets almost got it, but not quite. So double play gets you out of the inning, or a strikeout gives you a lot more options to get the third out. So that's line in the center field. That oh, all right. So the runner scores. McNeil cuts it off, throws it to third, but on the throw, he hits the runner. They had him. They had him close at third. As that was not a good pitch by Senga there. All right, first pitch to Tawa is a ball. This looks like this could blow up in the Mets space here really quick. Sorry, I'm just trying to see all the angles of that play. That was I don't know. There was McNeil gets the error on the throw, but it's not really McNeil's fault. The throw from Tyrone should have come into third. Hey, see Kelly, how's it going? The problem is you can't take Senga out. You have no bullpen, Soundwave. This is the Mets' problem. They're not going to take Senga out yet. But like you just can't do it. You've got nobody you can trust in this bullpen at the moment. Not at this point in the game. It's 3-0, but Senga's not sharp. He had a rough. He's had some really good plate appear or really good batters that he faced, and then others have been not so good. That's 4 pitch walk for Tawa. So bases are loaded. It does reset up the double play. We're going to get a visit to the mound now. But what do you do? This bullpen is just so taxed. You've got – so the Mets brought up Ty Adcock and Genesis Cabrera today. They have not pitched for the Mets yet this season. Brazovan pitched 2 innings yesterday, so don't know if he's available. Buteau has looked horrible. I don't trust him at all right now. I mean, maybe Reed Garrett and Max Kranick. Max Kranick might be the first place you go. But this is all compounded here with the Mets not scoring runs. So when the Mets are not scoring runs and your bullpen is taxed, it's like it really puts you in these difficult positions where you're forced. I mean, you're forced to stick with Senga here. There's no realistic good option that the Mets have. First pitch is a strike to Herrera, top of the zone. Herrera is the catcher and the number 9 hitter for the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks have the bases loaded. There's 1 out, so obviously you're looking for the double play here. That one is in the dirt. When Senga's been on today, he's been really good. 6 strikeouts. But yeah, Kelly. Kelly, I'm doing well. I am doing well. Enjoying a little afternoon baseball. Almost got him to swing on that. That was a ball, I guess. Nobody appealed down to. It's 2 balls and 1 strike, and there's nowhere to put them. This is not looking good for the Mets. That's popped up. Infield fly rule is called. So infield fly rule is called if there's runners on first and second with less than 2 outs. So there's runners on first and second, less than 2 outs, and it is a normally easy effort catchable ball, I call it. It's basically a way to prevent the defense from getting a cheap double play. All right, Corbin Carroll at the plate. Probably the best hitter. Not necessarily by average, but definitely one of the best contact hitters in the Diamondbacks lineup here. First pitch is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs now, top of the 4th. That one's in the dirt. Good stop by Torrens there. 2 balls, no strikes. Bases are loaded. Diamondbacks have a 1-0 lead here. Senga's trying to get out of this inning here without giving up any more runs. That's fouled away by Carroll. 2 balls, 1 strike. What's Senga got here? What's he got? That is foul down the first baseline. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 pitch from getting out of this with only giving up a run. Here's the pitch. Foul ball chopper down the first baseline. Remains 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bases loaded. 1-0 Diamondbacks. Top of the 4th. Kodai Senga is just absolutely battling and struggling today. But this is certainly Senga's last inning. Maybe they'll let him go out for the top of the inning. Will the Vikings sign Aaron Rodgers if J.J. McCarthy gets hurt? I think the Steelers will sign Rodgers first. That's my guess. Corbin Carroll barely got his bat on that to stay alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Who is your backup quarterback now, Brian? I don't know who's backing up McCarthy. That's outside. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Everybody's going to be moving on the pitch. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Popped up. It's left field. It's pretty deep. Leaping grab by Brandon Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo saves the Mets and bails out Senga. I mean, that's maybe not a home run, but if he doesn't catch it, it's at least a double, maybe a triple. That was a huge catch by Brandon Nimmo that absolutely saved the day. Now, we need these bats to wake up. This is ridiculous, Mets. We need to score runs and in bunches when I'm actually streaming a game. That was scary, wasn't it, Darren? I was like, man, the way he was fading, I was like, is that just going to go? But Nimmo made a big play. Big play when we need it. Good to see he's healthy again. Feeling good. All right, I gotta look at some stats here really quick for our team because we're working on putting together the lineup for tonight. Our entire season is on the line. Uh, Jesse Winker's at the plate. Sorry, we got to. Frisbee, how's it going? Yes, we are back at it today. I'm doing well. Hope you are doing well. Swing and a miss. There's a strikeout by Jesse Winker. Sorry, we're working on stats. We got to put together our lineup for tonight. So I'm trying to help the coach out here. Trying to see who is the best fit. You know, no balls, 2 strikes to Mark Vientos. Sorry, we got to. I'm probably not doing a good job of I'm definitely not doing a good job with streaming while it is. Viento foul tips it into the glove, and he's going to be retired here. This is important. Our entire season is on the line. So No balls and two strikes to Brandon Nimmo. We'll see. I don't make the final decisions. I'm just giving a little bit of my feedback of so we know they saved their best pitcher for us tonight, so we're trying to figure out how to get him out of the game. So we're going to try to like alternate our better hitters with our better our players who are better at taking pitches, because he pitches a lot of first pitch strikes. So we faced him, so we have like a little scouting report on him. So he pitches lots of first pitch strikes, which means you want your hitters to go after him, but you're also trying to run up the pitch count because of Little League rules, get him out of the game. So swing and a miss by Nimmo. That was not a good inning for the Mets. Yuck. Zach Gallen looks really good today, too. But there's just this massive inconsistency with the Mets bats. So it's all good, Primsby. There's a lot of inconsistency with the Mets bats. And I just don't understand why we're lunging at so many pitches. And so, especially when they have like two good nights in a row to come back with two really rough games in a row in terms of their hitting approach last night and today. It's definitely not fun to watch when we're hitting like this. So we're going to the top of the fifth inning. It is 1-0 Diamondbacks. It's about, well, if you're going to a baseball game, Princely, it would be, it would take up 6 hours of your day. Your time to drive there, time to park. I think one of the best parts of a baseball game is getting there like an hour early, getting to watch batting practice and stuff. And the game is 2.5 to 3 hours on average. There's some shorter, some longer, but 2:45 is probably about an average game. And then of course, then just getting back out to your car and then driving home. So yeah, it would be. But I try to block off, in my head, I block off roughly 3 hours for a game and try to make the determination if I can cover it based on if I have 3 hours. So it's one of the reasons why I think baseball is a better sport in person than it is on TV, because it does feel like it drags on TV. But when you're at a baseball stadium, it's pretty much nonstop action as you go through the whole game. So because there's enough things that keep you occupied in between. NBC's Cabrera pitching in for the Mets, just coming up from AAA, is making his New York Mets debut. They have a good pitching staff. That's a solid lineup, and especially when you consider Ketel Marte is not even in this lineup right now. And Gabriel Moreno is not in the lineup because he was their catcher yesterday. I mean, it's a solid 1 through 9. I mean, they've got Alek Thomas hitting 7th with a 307 batting average. It's names that you recognize up and down. This is a fly ball. Woo! Soto dances around under it, makes the catch. There's the first out in the top of the 5th. So Kodai Senga's day is done. Again, another thing that I would tell you that is notable is even though Senga struggled, he only gave up 1 run in 5 innings. Now, of course, we wish these guys would go deeper into the game, but the fact that even if you only get 5 innings, that at least you're not giving up lots of runs. Because the worst is if you're getting short starts and giving up lots of runs, that's really hard on your team. But so Senga was not sharp today. And the fact that he got out of that game with only giving up 1 run is pretty good. All right, here's Pavin Smith, the 1-0 pitch. It's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. All right, here's a 3-0 pitch. That's a strike down the middle. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Cabrera struggling to find the strike zone a little bit here on Pavin Smith. Yeah, he was stumbling under that one, Darren. The sun is a really shiny object. That's for sure. That's a walk. Oh, you come up to the major leagues. Don't walk batters. Just pitch strikes. So why do we need another starter to cover Sunday's game? I'm so confused. Why are we needing to reach for us? They're saying, okay, hold on. So Clay Holmes pitches tomorrow. Tyler McGill. When's the last time that Peterson pitched? He should be on full rest, right? I'm not understanding. Like, I understand last night because you needed to get the 6th day of rest in for Kodai Senga. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Naylor here. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a high fly ball and pretty deep. Taylor makes a play for it. It's going to be a double. Taylor looks like he's okay. That could have been worse. That was almost a home run. That like hit the orange line, but it bounced back in. They're going to do a crew chief review to see if it stayed in play. It has to apparently go over the orange line. All right, so we got a crew chief replay review right now is what's going on. That's why. All right, so the call is upheld as it is. My goodness, this game is just like a snail's pace game with everything going on in it. For a 1-0 game, there's been a whole lot of not action. Lots of walks, reviews, pitch outs, stolen bases, but it's just been like a boring game. All right, well, Genesis Cabrera is done. Called up to the majors to face 3 batters and let 2 of the 3 get on base. Rod, how's it going? This is the problem with the Mets bullpen. We've got nothing. That's who we. So, is there a reason why Daniel Nunez is not up with the Mets? I'd like to know. He's got to be our best option. He has to be. Daniel Nunez has to be our best option, right? In the minors, I don't know. We just can't. Right now, we can't hit. Our starting pitchers can't go more than 5 innings, and our relief pitchers can't get outs. Not really a winning formula for the most part. Certainly frustrating. Of course, after all that review, now we're going to a commercial break for a pitching change for the Mets. We'll let you know who's coming in as soon as they announce it. Max Kranick, Min Panic Max Kranick is coming to the plate. Min Panic Max Kranick. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean that's the problem. Like the problem is when you get to the majors, right? We talk about quadruple A, but he's got this history of pitching lots of balls in the majors. So it's Are you talking about Nunez, Darren? Because yeah, like everything I've seen about Nunez is like, why is he not up with his team? I don't understand. I'm not claiming to know all, that's for sure. Yeah. Like he was great with the Mets last year, and where is he this year? Lane, how's it going? Max Kranick coming in for the Mets here. Mets continue to try to dodge bullets out on the field. Runners on second and third with 1 out. Eugenio Suarez at the plate. First pitch is a strike. Runners on second and third. Diamondbacks are up 1-0. So Mets are trying to do that. Well, Slots, I wouldn't say he's a terrible. I would say he's an average outfielder. You'd have to be a great outfielder to make that play, even as a right fielder. This is lifted out to center field. It's deep enough to score a run. Tyrone Taylor's getting under it. So the run is going to score. The Mets can, Lane. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Why is Daniel Nunez not on this roster? This bullpen, guys, is atrocious right now. It's bad. So anyway, Diamondbacks score a run there on the sacrifice fly. Naylor moves up to third, so it's still a runner on third. There's 2 outs now. That run is charged to Genesis Cabrera. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. at the plate now. Kranick is in pitching, trying to get out of this Genesis Cabrera mess. First pitch is fouled back. No balls and 1 strike. It's 2-0. Diamondbacks over the Mets. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Yeah, Isaiah Soto needs a little more work to. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I think it can't help his defense that his offense is struggling, and it can't help, so I think it's like first thing is Let's get him right. Yeah, isn't it crazy? The same team that scored 19 runs like 3 days ago or 2 days ago feels like a 2-run lead is still insurmountable. You gotta get Zach Allen out of the game. That's first step. And they just keep rolling over pitches. Whew, pulled foul by Suarez. Isaiah, are you saying best outfielder in the majors? And are you including defense or only defense, including defense and offense? I mean, yeah, if you're talking like I'm not saying Judge is the best defender, but if I could pick one outfielder on my team, I'm probably going Aaron Judge. So weekly hit to first, Alonzo Fields. It flips it to Kranick. So Kranick actually does a good job there. No, you can't. Kranick's like the best thing we have in this bullpen right now. That whole inning is on Genesis Cabrera. Welcome back again, Firot. So let's see. I just want to kind of see on the stats and see 2025 WAR MLB outfielders. Because WAR includes offense and defense. Not that I necessarily will agree with this, but I mean, offensively, Judge is by far the WAR leader in the outfield. You know, it's probably a little early to anoint him yet, but Pete Crow Armstrong is looking to be this really, really interesting, good defense and offensive player for the Cubs. Of course, the Mets traded him for Javi Baez, a trade they're going to regret. No, Budo's never. I would like to have Budo down the minors too. No, the Mets starting staff is fine. You know, they're just only going to get you 5 innings most of the time right now. And no, I mean that. I think it's maybe more likely you see like a Sproat come up into the rotation here. We'll see, because on Sunday the Mets are going to pull somebody up from the minors to make a spot start. So, you know, Bobby Witt Jr., he's shortstop. Let's see. Tatis offensively is up there in WAR as well. I mean, if it's offense, it's far and away. It's Aaron Judge, obviously. Lane, you just can't send anybody down. So you're going to have like 2 or 3 spots here that are just going to bring these guys up, and then you're going to send them down. These are guys who have options and stuff like that. But your main guys, any of your main relievers who are healthy, they're staying on this team, whether you like them or not. You just don't have a choice. You don't. First pitch swinging by Terens. I don't understand it. Zach Allen's only at 64 pitches, guys. He could go this whole game. So again, why are we first pitch swinging here when we are? Yeah, the Mets have no clue how to hit Gallen here. All right, well, it's time for Jeff McHitz to do his thing. We need a classic Jeff McNeil get on base at bat. First pitch is a strike. Yeah, I mean, there's options, but the problem is you only need these guys for like one start. And it's just too early to make a trade. So the Mets have Daniel Nunez and Brooks Raley. Raley is on the injured list, but he can come back here in about a week or two. That's some reinforcements that we need. Why are we not getting Nunez? I don't know. I have zero idea what the reason is why Nunez is not coming up for this team, because he seems like the obvious choice. Now, I'm wondering if Genesis Cabrera is going to go right back down to the minors after this game, because, wow, Jeff McNeil strikes out on 3 pitches. My goodness, guys. And once again, the Mets failed to take advantage of opportunities in the first inning, and they just can't hit these guys. It is a lot of strikeouts. It's the modern day lineups. This is what. All right, Tyrone Taylor at the plate here for the Mets. First pitch is a ball. You could just tell as a whole the lineup's just not in sync yet. And Gallen's pitching super well, guys. Like, I don't want to discount that. But the Mets have zero patience at the plate. And they just keep rolling over just simple ground balls. That's line, but directly at the left fielder, and that's going to retire the side. We're going to go to the top of the sixth inning. It's just, I feel like the struggle with this team on hitting for the last couple of years has been they're so slow to make adjustments. And those of you who are football fans, you understand the difference between teams that can make adjustments at halftime versus teams that can't make adjustments at halftime. The teams that can make halftime adjustments are the teams that go on to win lots of games. And it just feels like the Mets hitters, like, it doesn't look like they're approaching Gallen any differently now than they were the first time or the second time through the line. Well, now we'll see if they change it the third time through. But yeah, we are hitting the point where Soto does need to start hitting soon. I've been pretty clear, like, give him a couple weeks in May, but now we're 6 weeks in. We're past the point where we want to be relying on the rest of the team to be doing what they're doing. But I'm going to just tell you, I've been pretty open on most of these things. You've got, in a lot of situations, Tyrone Taylor is going to be an out. In a lot of situations, Jesse Winker, Starling Marte are going to be outs. In a lot of situations, Torrens is going to be an out. I mean, he's doing okay, but so, and then when you've got Nimmo now more swing for power and swinging for the fences, you're losing what you used to have there, which was, there was a time, most of you guys remember, where Nimmo was a legit leadoff option. And sure, it's great when he has the 9 RBI day, but there are days like today where I'd rather him have a 3-hit day instead of a 9 RBI day when we're winning by 14. So Brooks Raley is on the injured list lane, and he's eligible to come off in about 2 weeks. So they're just going to make sure that he's warmed up and ready to go. Jose Siri is out for months, I believe. Last I knew. It's it mid to late June for Jose Siri. Grounder deep to Pete on the outfield grass, but Kranick gets over and covers. There's one out. No, Max Kranick is about the most reliable reliever we have right now. This is why. So I'm a fan of the Mets could get Byron Buxton from the Twins as our center fielder. That would feel really good because he still brings speed, he brings defense, but he brings a lot better batting average. First pitch inside to Tawa is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Do you guys think it would be worthwhile to just put Soto at DH for a game or two? Just let him focus on his hitting. That's a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. That is going to be slide out. Tyrone Taylor steps in front of Soto to make the call. Definitely been an awkward day in the field for Soto today. Definitely been an awkward day. 2-0 Diamondbacks over the Mets, Justin. Mets bats are absolutely dead today. Pete Alonso has the only hit. He had a single in the first inning. That's it. Kodai Senga struggled, but only gave up 1 run. Genesis Cabrera came in relief up from AAA. He gave up 1 run, so that's how he got to the 2-0. No balls, 1 strike. It's a pitch to Herrera. That's fouled away. He's the number 9 hole hitter, so you want to get him here. That way you get to lead off with Corbin Carroll next inning with nobody on. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Herrera. That's blooped. Foul territory. Vientos gets over and makes the catch. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kranick. That already is like one of the better innings we've seen all game. Due up for the Mets is the top of the order, Lindor, Soto, Alonso. So kind of exactly what you want for the bottom of the 6th inning. All right, we're on commercial break right now. I'm supposed to be meeting up with someone right around 3. So I might have to go and do that Facebook Marketplace meetup if they actually show up. I have a low confidence on this person showing up, but we'll see. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Sorry that it's once again slow, boring game. So, yep, Mets play St. Louis next, and St. Louis has gotten on a little bit of a run here against the Reds, and then back at these Diamondbacks who kind of had our number here, other than that first game of the series. So, yeah, the Mets need to slow down, take some pitches. We need like a 20-pitch inning here. I mean, Gallen is at 71 pitches. And yes, it's only going into the 6th, but, you know, I think your goal is to at least make sure he's out for the 8th and 9th. You want to get at least 2 innings against this bullpen, which up until yesterday has been struggling. So, anyway, if I have to run for a couple minutes to do the Facebook Marketplace meetup, I'll just let you know that would be theoretically around 3 o'clock, but they're going all ghost on me as well. So, which is more or less what I expected. All right. Well, we are at the top of the lineup for the Mets. So it's just time. It's time for this team to wake up. In order to make them wake up, we're going to stand up. What can make me feel this way? Lindor, Lindor. First pitch, Lindor is a strike down the middle. No balls, 1 strike. No rally pick, Jonathan says. Jonathan says no rally. It's too late. Soto's due up. Soto's due up. Ride or die with rally pick here. No balls, 2 strikes. The people at the stadium are yelling no rally pig. There's a ball. Hey, it's a 4-pitch at bat. That's about the most pitches any batter's had for like the last 10. Hey, Lindor holds off. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gallen is 1-4 on the season with a 5.57 ERA, but he's figured it out today against the Mets. Hey, there's 3-2. It's the first time all day I've seen the Mets actually work a count. Right now, we'll take anything. Any leadoff base runner is good. They're listening to you, Darren. Strikes out on a ball in the dirt, and he's retired. Well, we'll take the sixth pitch at bat. We're going to take one thing at a time. Was that ball four? Yeah, definitely ball four all the way. All right. Well, Juan Soto at the plate. He's taking the first pitch. He was taking all the way there too. So at least we're taking some pitches here, but he hits this one. It's deep. It's out of here. Rally Pig comes through. It's a bomb. So one. So we're gonna drink one. So for one. So yeah. Finally. I told you. You gotta wait until May. Home run, baby. Rally Pig. Rally Pig. Home run, baby. Finally. Finally, there's a little life to this team. I'm going to tell you, this is when the Mets need Soto to get going. And this is when Soto needs to become he needs to become the man. Yep, his first home run at Citi Field. He didn't even get it great. I thought he got under it, but he got enough of it. Well, there's finally some life by standing up and Rally Pig. We didn't use Rally Pig in the first inning, so Rally Pig is 1 for 2. There's a little magic in Rally Pig still. Well, finally, but still 2-1. So it's no balls, 2 strikes to Pete. He's ripped. He's had a couple of good rips, but fouled him away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yep, you better believe it, Lane. Juan Soto home run. Pete goes down. Oh, he fouls it barely. Stay alive. So what they're talking about is it takes a while for Juan Soto to learn the stadium too, because this is not as small of a stadium as Yankee Stadium. Alonso does go down swing on that pitch. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. I mean, the launch angle is really good. First pitch to Jesse Winker's in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. So the Mets have cut the lead in half. It was 2-0. Now it's 2-1. All right, Jesse Winker is ahead 2-0. So I like this. Let's keep working the counts. Let's keep working the counts. 3-0 out of Winker. 3-0 to Jesse Winker. Who the Mets called for second? That's a great question. All 4. Good job by Winker there. Patient, 4-pitch walk. Well, we're at least finally getting that pitch count up. So Gallon's up to 88 pitches, so we can at least hopefully get him out of this at the end of this inning. And now you got Vientos coming up after Winker. So, and Vientos home run, we could knock him out of the game here potentially. All right, no balls and one strike to Vientos. Still working on a few coaching decisions for the lineup. Vientos gets back on the throw over to first. No balls, one strike, one on, one in, two outs, bottom of the sixth. The Diamondbacks up on the Mets, 2-1. Mark Vientos at the plate. Soto had his first Citi Field home run just a few moments ago. Vientos grounds it down to third. Good backhanded play, but he's going to be retired. So the Mets do get one. Mets get one. We'll see if Kranick comes out again as we are going to the top of the seventh inning. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get Gallen out, but we did run up the pitch count finally a little bit there. Gallen's up to 90 pitches on the day. I don't know what he normally runs. What can make me feel this way? I'm getting ghosted by someone on Facebook Marketplace. By the way, we did have a sale on eBay, so we have that comment is pinned in the chat. So if you want to do a little bit of shopping for baseball or football cards, you can do that. I'll go find the card. We'll do this. Let me go find the card that I sold earlier today. 1874. All right. So show it here. I'll show it over here. The Buster Posey home field advantage card. It's a really sweet looking card. They were like a case hit too, so you get like one per case, not like per box, but per case of boxes. So I didn't see where they're from. I'm assuming they're from San Francisco. It's a nice looking card. That home run was 106 miles an hour off the bat. Not the hardest hit ball of Soto for the day. Men panic. Max Kranick is back out here for the Mets. We're at the top of the seventh inning. Oh, yeah, I got to go find a streamer here. Hold on. We're going to go find those of you who are new here. We're in the seventh inning of the not Mets part, whether it's the home or away. We go raid another streamer. Try to find someone from the other team if we can. Did that guy last night. Hey, welcome, Warwick. Appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. Oh, that was the guy I wanted to do, but then he was on. Yeah, he's on subscriber only mode here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Corbin Carroll here. Max Kranick pitching for the Mets. Mets down 2-1. Top of the seventh. He gets Carroll going down swinging. All right, we got somebody. I don't think we've rated this guy before. So I'm gonna throw the link in the chat here in just a second. Give me 1 second. We're gonna go right, be positive, be uplifting, encouraging. We're just trying to go out there and just cheer on some other smaller creators who are putting the hard work. So encourage you to go rate them. Be nice, positive, give them a like on their feed. If they're your vibe, give them a subscribe as well. All right, let me go ahead and post the link in the chat. There's the one. There's the 2. All right. And the raid is on. All right. The channel is called Yankees, The Ugly Truth. So a small content creator, looks like a Yankee fan, but he's streaming our game. So we'll go over, say hi. This is deep to right field. That's going to be out of here. A home run for Geraldo Perdomo. 3-1. Diamondbacks take the lead. Not a good pitch. Just Pavin Smith, swing and a miss for strike 1. So swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes to Pavin Smith. So yeah, if you guys get a chance, go over, click on, go give a raid, give a like, give a thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm. This guy was really low down in the search. So help him out. He's doing some good play-by-play as well. So that is ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Pavin Smith, swing and a miss. That's going to be 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Max Kranick trying to get out of here with only giving up 1 run. It's 3-1 Diamondbacks as we are headed towards the end of this game here. Top of the 7th inning, Josh Naylor at the plate. First pitch to Naylor is on the outside corner. No ball, 1 strike. Grounder to Jeff McNeil, makes the play. Throws to first and retires aside. 3-1 Arizona. We're going to throw another question out for you guys to comment on. What is your favorite baseball team, other than your main team, that you irrationally root for? And Warwick, I am primarily baseball and football, so I would choose football over basketball. So what is the favorite team that you have that you irrationally root for? Favorite baseball team that you irrationally root for? So for me, it's probably somebody like I irrationally root for the Mariners. That would definitely be one of my own. So yeah, so this is MetropoliFins, so I follow New York Mets, Miami Dolphins, baseball, football. I've just never really gotten into basketball. I've had lots of people try to convince me. I'll watch a little bit of college basketball during the March Madness tournament, and but yeah, I just never really never really understood or got in the whole draw to basketball that lots of people have. I'm getting ghosted on Facebook Marketplace. I don't have memberships yet. In order to do that, we got to get our watch hours up and eventually get to 500 subscribers. So that's what our goal is. We're trying to get there by the All-Star break. That is the goal. Get to 500 subs, get memberships going by the All-Star break, which is July. So that's what we're working towards. Our next checkpoint on the journey is 250 subscribers. We're 9 away. So for anyone hanging out with us that hasn't yet hit that subscribe button, please do. Help support a small creator. The more subscribers, the more of these games that I can cover. We're covering as much as we can. The other thing, wait, I posed this question too a while ago, but I'm still considering stuff and well, what other sort of like weekly topics do you want me to cover on baseball as well? All right. Brennan Nimmo leads off here. Hits it pretty deep out to left field, but Gurriel is able to make the catch. So Gallen is out of the game, but unfortunately, Nimmo did not work the count. So we're only 2 pitches in. This is Ryan Thompson. He pitched in last night's game. So you would think that there might be an opportunity for the Mets to take advantage. They've already seen him. Next up is Luis Torrens. We're not making a switch here to Alvarez yet, I guess. Cleveland Cavaliers. That's a nice random team. Very nice random team, Jonathan. How's it going, Sports Castle? Appreciate you so much. Hello from the United States. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Luis Torrens. Mets are down 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th. It's Torrens, McNeil, and then Tyrone Taylor if someone else gets on. Fouled off, barely staying alive here. The Mets do have some bench options here. More so than normal, I would say. They do have Francisco Alvarez and Starling Marte and Luis Angel Acuna all on the bench, as well as Azocar. Jose Azocar. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Torrens. Just looking for a base runner right now. That's outside. Good take. Good take by Torrens. And strike 3 swinging. Mets are just they're not seeing the ball well. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. I don't know if everybody's stressing just a little bit. Now, the top of the lineup's going to get up one more time here. This is McNeil's at the plate. Between the 8th and the 9th, even if no one gets on here, between the 8th and the 9th, you'll get Lindor, Soto, Alonso all to plate one more. There we go. There's a nice hit through the hole for McNeil. So there's a 2-out base hit for the Mets. Tyrone Taylor is up. He had a home run yesterday. He gets 1 a month. Tyrone Taylor averages 1 home run a month. We'll see if he can just go back to back, and then we won't get another home run from him till June. Taylor does represent the tying run. First pitch is a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, the next 3. But we'll see. In the very least, at least we turn the lineup over. But hopefully Tyrone Taylor can keep this rolling here. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. All right, no balls and 2 strikes to Tyrone Taylor. Bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. Jeff McNeil on first. He held his swing. Wow, that was almost a really bad swing. That was a super ball. That was way outside. Yeah, Taylor needs to go to right on this guy. He's not catching up to any of this stuff. He's got to punch it down the right field line, maybe for a double that could score a run. Struck him out. Taylor's had a good series, but a rough day today. It's 0 for 3 on the day. It's time for Reed Garrett. Reed Garrett coming in, going to the top of the 8th inning. Mets are going to make it just exciting enough to keep us all here, and then they'll break our hearts. Because that's why we're Mets fans. If you want to have a broken heart, become a Mets and a Dolphins fan. When do I know that my Facebook Marketplace person has officially ghosted me? They have not communicated. They've said they were going to be here at 3. They haven't even seen my last message. Kodai Sega's pitches aren't the only ghosts that I'm seeing today. It's also the crazies on Facebook Marketplace. All right. Well, Reed Garrett's going to come in. I got to imagine that they're probably going to have Diaz pitch the 9th no matter what. And then he won't be available to pitch in a game the next day. Oh, this pitching staff. What becomes of the brokenhearted? Send me your poor. You're tired. Need like a Statue of Liberty for baseball. Send me your Mets fans. Who else lives a disappointing life? Your Mets fans, your Athletics fans, your Marlins fans. Bible says that God is near to the brokenhearted, so I guess it's just a ultimate call to repentance for being a Mets fan. All right, let's do a scoreboard update because I got nothing better to do. Nothing better to do. Rays got on the board early against the Royals, but Royals have come charging back. They're leading 7-2. That's top of the 8th. Reds Cardinals game is, I don't know if they're in a rain delay or not still, but they have been delayed throughout this game. But Reds are currently leading 2-1, bottom of the 4th. Guardians lead the Twins 2-0, top of the 7th. Guardians have 2 runs on 2 hits. Twins have no runs on 7 hits. White Sox lead the Brewers 1-0, top of the 5th. Athletics over the Rangers 1-0. That's going to the top of the 4th. Super early, but the Rangers do not have any hits yet. So if that goes in another inning or 2, we'll keep an eye on that. Who's pitching? Just want to see who's pitching for the Athletics. Jeffrey Springs. Jeffrey Springs is pitching. Not off to a great start, 5.64 ERA, but so far, looking good. All right, here's the 2-2 pitch to Eugenio Suarez. That's inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Reed Garrett on the mound for the Mets here. The Mets really need to not give up any more runs because we 2 runs feels like 12 runs right now. It's fouled away. 3 balls, 2 strikes remains to count. The Mets need to take the lead in the 8th here too, by the way. I said this last night and they didn't do it, and then but they really do. You need to take the lead with Lindor, Soto, Alonso. There's a strikeout. Nice pitch by Reed Garrett on the splitter. 3 balls, 1 strike. Or sorry, not 3 balls, 1 strike. 3-1 score. Wow, my brain is not braining anymore. Mets are gonna need a comeback here. Today's game was a mix of brilliance by Zach Gallen combined by incompetence by the Mets hitters. Tyrone Taylor under this fly ball to center field. That's quick 2 outs. 8 pitches in and 2 outs for Reed Garrett. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're MetropoliFins, we're YouTube's smallest New York Mets Miami Dolphins channel. On our way to 500 subscribers. Next up, 250. First pitch strike to Alek Thomas. No balls, 1 strike. All right. Darren's going out on a limb saying if Lindor gets on base before Soto, Soto's going to tie it with his 2nd home run. I mean, I do feel like Soto is kind of one of those hitters. Once he gets on a roll, he's hard to stop. So, and once you figure out the stadium, that helps a lot too. That's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Alek Thomas. Reed Garrett trying to get the Mets out of this inning. Lindor, Soto, Alonso due up. The Mets have been better in the late in the game too, which is ooh, he got him way high pitch. That's the type of pitch that little leaguers will swing at. All right, well, Mets get out of that inning. That has to by far be the best pitching we've seen all day. So Reed Garrett, you get the rock solid relief performance. This is my pet rock I made like in kindergarten. So rock solid relief performance goes to Reed Garrett. Rally Pig coming out. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He was active for the Soto home run. You know what would be an interesting stat that I wonder if they ever track? Probably not, probably somewhere, I guess, but I don't know the name for this stat. But the stat that I would like to know is percentage of time a run is scored in an inning where a particular batter comes to the plate. Not necessarily from the batter, but like what percentage of the time? Like if you had an inning where you say Pete Alonso comes up, in what percentage of the innings, or the half innings technically, where Pete Alonso comes up, and what percentage of those innings does his team score a run? Or like Aaron Judge would be an interesting stat, because obviously every time that they hit a home run, it counts. Every time they get an RBI, every time they get a run score, all of those would count. But there would also be scenarios where they just strike out, or ground out or fly out or whatever, but the team still manages to score a run somewhere else in the inning. So inning run percentage, IRP, the ERP. I want to know what a player's ERP is. I just invented a new stat. Patent pending. The ERP. What percentage of innings where a batter comes to the plate does their team score at least 1 run? The ERP. Because we have advanced stats, but we're going to create like super mega advanced stats. We're commercial break right now. Lindor, Soto, Alonso due up for the Mets. Bottom of the 8th. Mets are down 3-1. Mets need some fireworks here. That's a great question. Let me see if that's an easy stat to look up, Mark. How many balls did Babe Ruth hit out of the stadium? Kevin Ginkel is pitching here for the Diamondbacks, and Francisco Lindor is up 2 balls and no strikes in the count. I like Lindor's approach last time. That's a strike down the middle. I like just slowing it down, being a little more patient. 2 balls, 1 strike. I don't know if that's a recorded stat. Yeah, just check. See what you can do. I'll check with ChatGPT. I already tried Google. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lindor. Called strike 3 on Lindor. Well, according to ChatGPT, Babe Ruth reportedly hit 10 to 15 balls completely out of the stadium during his career, meaning they cleared the structure entirely, not just going over the outfield fence. These were rare and anecdotal, but here are the notable confirmed or widely accepted instances. Number 1, Polo Grounds. Ruth is believed to hit a ball over the right field roof and out of the park, an absurd feat given the structure and dimensions. Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. Ruth reportedly hit a ball out of the stadium in a 1918 game before the home run boom. Number 3, Navin Field in Detroit. One of Ruth's homers cleared the right field roof and landed on Trumbull Avenue. Number 4, St. Petersburg, Florida in spring training. Ruth hit a 500-plus home run out of the ballpark. Number 5, Yankee Stadium. Ruth may have hit at least 1 ball over the roof in batting practice. So it's not like an in-depth stat. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Juan Soto here. That's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm getting ghosted on Facebook Marketplace. Soto rips that one, but foul. That was a good contact there. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Juan Soto. Soto has the only Mets run, a home run. Unfortunately, another home run does not even tie the game here, though. So there's the ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So this is where Soto is just trying to get on base any way possible. You're looking for, your strategy-wise, like home runs are great, but home runs tend to be rally killers in general, I feel. That's fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. What you need here is base runners. So because you don't just want to score 1 or 2 here, you want to score 3 or 4 or 5. So but Soto got his first Citi Field home run today. If you missed that earlier, we're just going to see if he can build on that by. That's high. The Bird, Mark the Bird Fidrich. Yep. Did you find any more details, Mark, other than what I saw? It's just hard because it's so not documented. That's going to be foul, just out of play down the left field line. Remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is a classic Soto at bat. This is where he's just absolute killer to pitchers. So, second guy up in the inning. We already have Ginkel up to 13 pitches. And you just want Soto to keep spoiling the good pitches or the good pitcher's pitches till he gets a good hitter's pitch. He had a great start. I saw like a documentary on him. Mark the Bird Fidrich got off to a great start and then he kind of fizzled out. But Soto flies this one deep to the wall. It's out of here! It's a 1 bomb! A bomb! Soto for 1! Soto will drink 1! Soto for 1! Soto! May is here and Juan Soto has woken up. Unfortunately, the rest of the Mets bats have fallen asleep, but you're getting a little bit of an ROI on that. So it is now 3-2 Mets. The Mets' 2 runs are on 2 solo home runs by Juan Soto. Well, at least there's something good to come out of this game, even if the Mets lose. At least Juan Soto is feeling like he's locked in. That's inside to Pete. 2 balls and no strikes to Pete Alonso. Yeah, may the fourth be with you. And don't forget the revenge of the fifth the next day. May the fourth be with you. That's a ball. 3 balls, no strikes. We never found out, but boy, I sure wanted to know who was going to play first and third base for the Mets last night after the Mets subbed out Pete. Pete does not swing. It's ball 4. We got a runner on. The tying run is on base. The go-ahead run coming to the plate. It is scheduled to be Jesse Winker. Marte is on the bench, depending on what matchup the Mets want here. It is 3-2 Diamondbacks over the Mets. The Mets 2 runs on 2 solo home runs. 2 Soto home runs. Solo Soto. So long. We're having a meeting of the minds at the mound as we speak. Pete Alonso on first. There's 1 out. Mets are still down here, 3-2. So once again, the late inning heroics, or at least the late inning rally, is coming into play. By the way, Rally Pig is now 2 for 3 today. Ginkel's already up to 18 pitches. Is that what it is? Yeah, 18 pitches after pitching 11 yesterday. First pitch, it is going to be Jesse Winker hitting here. First pitch is going to be a strike. Pete Alonso on first. Lewis, let's go Mets, baby. Better believe it. Winker's 0 for 2 with a walk today. Pete Alonso's on first. Really looking for him to drive something here. 1 ball, 1 strike to Winker. Mets have 2 runs. Diamondbacks have 3. Soto has 2 solo home runs. He's done his part today. Unfortunately, Mets have just not had runners on base. Ripped down the right field line. Barely foul. Wow, it was close. The Mets have 4 hits today, and 2 of them are solo home runs. The ball boy did a great job to get out of the way. It would have, had it been fair, winning the crowd, it would have been a ground rule double. That was Winker gets this one. It's pretty deep. It fouls in. Pete's going to hold at third base. It's going to be a double for Jesse Winker. That was misplayed by the outfield, and the Mets have something going. Let's go Mets, baby. Let's go Mets. Isn't this pennant awesome? I got this pennant when I was went to Shea Stadium. I want to say 88, 89, 90. I don't know if there's I don't know how old it is, but it's old enough that it's made in the USA. So got our Mets pennant going. Let's go Mets, baby. And now Swaggy Marky Mark Vientos at the plate with 1 out. So a sacrifice fly will tie the game. A hit could give the Mets the lead. First pitch, foul. Good rip by Vientos there. Who the Tigers play in the '84 World Series? Great question. Let me see if I can come up with that one off the top of my head. Vientos pops that one. That's going to get out of play right beyond the Mets dugout. So I can kind of picture the era. I can eliminate a bunch of teams that I'm pretty sure were not there. Padres was the first one that came to my mind. I was like, that's ball outside. So it's not. The other one that I thought possibly was the Cardinals. So Padres was my gut reaction, and then like secondarily was like Cardinals. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got to put this ball in the plate. That's a ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All right, here's the 2-2 pitch to Vientos. Flies this ball down the right field line. It's going to get foul. It would, if it had been fair, it might have been caught, which would have scored a run. 2 balls and 2 strikes still the count here. You are correct. It is the Padres. Yep. Tigers beat the Padres 4-1. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Oh, swing and a miss on ball 3. Come on, Marky V. Yeah, that just wasn't. Yeah, Mark's not happy with himself. He knows. All right. Nimmo is coming up. So it's still 2 on, but now there's 2 outs. So now you need the hit. First pitch is a called strike at the top of the zone. No balls, 1 strike to Nimmo. A hit here could potentially give the Mets the lead. That's way high. 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch is low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Come on, Nimmo. You better believe it, Lewis. This is where we need the Nimmo of old right here. We don't need the Nimmo to drive the home run. We need the Nimmo to work the count and get a single, get a hit. Just keep the line moving. So Torrens is due up next. They do have Alvarez on the bench. Nimmo lays off. 3 balls, 1 strike. All right, here's the 3-1 pitch to Nimmo. Fouls it back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. To the bottom of the 8th inning. Mets are down 3-2, but runners on second and third. Oh, got called looking. Oh, man. Back-to-back strikeouts of Vientos and Nimmo. Yeah, that's it. That's it for this inning. We're going to the top of the ninth. I'm assuming Diaz is coming in. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Just absolutely frozen. Well, the Mets are going to have one more shot at it. Due up in the bottom of the ninth will be Terrence McNeil and Tyrone Taylor. Now you have options here. You have Francisco Alvarez on the bench. I would think you could bring him in for Terrence. You have Jeff McNeil, which I'd probably take him, and then maybe you could go Luis Angel Acuna, because then McNeil could switch to the outfield and Acuna could take second there, or you could put Azokar in the outfield, or you could pinch it Azokar for Tyrone Taylor. So the Mets do have some options and flexibility in the bottom of the ninth. That's the one. That's the one thing the Mets have here. Of course, got to get out of this inning first without giving up any runs. Now, Reed Garrett was pitching. I am assuming this is Edwin Diaz coming in, but I have not seen them make the switch yet. They might try to save Diaz for one more inning. You guys let me know if you see a pitching change come through. I'm not seeing anything yet. I mean, it's possible. Garrett only pitched 12 pitches, so they could stick with him. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. The bigger of a crew we can build here, the more I can stream for you and cover things. But I appreciate you being here. We're going to stick with you all the way through the end of the game. My family's going to be home any minute now. They get done at around 3:30 with school, so that'll be time to get ready for the game here tonight. My son's potentially his final Little League game of the season, because they've got to win and win by the right amount. It is going to be Reed Garrett. Quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes to Tawa. So it is possible that tonight is my son's last game of the season. One ball, 2 strikes to Tawa. I'm assuming the Mets are going to Diaz next, and they're just hoping that they have him for the 10th if they need him for the 10th. That's in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But I think you have to bring Alvarez in to hit. You got to bring up guys who can put a charge in one, especially if you're only down by 1. I mean, if you get down big here, then maybe you don't even worry about it. You just let Alvarez rest. But Tawa flies this one. That's deep left field to the fence, and it's a home run for Tawa. Tim Tawa with a home run. And once again, the Mets go down by 2. They do all this work. All this work. My goodness. Do you guys believe me yet that there's cracks in this bullpen? Oh, I barely missed it. That was a great effort by Nimmo. That's Reed Garrett's first earned run of the season. All right, first pitch strike here to Herrera. Yeah, it was just a slider. That home run pitch was a slider that just worked its way back over the plate. Why does this game feel like we need to get back to Soto, or else we have no chance? Let's get a 3 home run game out of Soto. So the only way we're going to do that is get some base runners on here. That's flied out to left field. 1 out here, top of the ninth. Reed Garrett pitching. Diamondbacks are up 4-2. I mean, I think it's really kind of funny, right? This whole season, the Mets have been carried by their pitching staff and hitters, other than Juan Soto. And today, Juan Soto goes off for 2 home runs, and the pitching doesn't have it, and nobody else has it either. It's the unfortunate life of a Mets fan. Unfortunate life of a Mets fan. That's a ball there. 2 balls, no strikes. I'm going to be right back. I got to go make sure the door is unlocked so my family can get home and get inside. Here, right after, I'll go right after this pitch here. This is Corbin Carroll hitting. I'll be right back with you guys. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Out back, 2 balls, 1 strike. There's strike 3 called for Corbin Carroll. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. Mets down 4-2. Reed Garrett bouncing back after giving up his first run of the year. Michael, how's it going? All right, Reed Garrett's coming out. So we have a pitching change. Ty Adcock is going to be coming in for the Mets. I'm going to do this since we have since we have a little more time here, really quick. I'm going to go throw our supper in the oven. We got chicken patties and fish patties tonight, so I'm going to go throw those in the oven so that way they're cooking up. Because once this game is over, it's going to be time to have supper with the family and that. Well, they're trying to save Mendoza for extra innings, Red Man, because the Mets can't get a save at this point. So they're trying to save. They're trying to save Edwin Diaz for extra innings, not Mendoza. Oh my goodness, they're trying to save Edwin Diaz for extra innings in case the Mets can tie it up in the ninth. So that's the highest leverage situation. So that's what Diaz is going to get. So if the Mets had taken the lead, then that's where it would have been. All right, hold on. I'll be right back with you. We're on commercial break. All right, we're back. Sorry, there are 2 outs here already. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, and there's a hit going the other way for Ty Adcock pitching, and that hit is for Geraldo Perdomo. So there's a 2-out base hit here for the Diamondbacks. Try to get back here as quick as possible. All right, that pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. So Ty Adcock is making his first appearance for the Mets this season. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, this is kind of the problem with the depth of this Mets bullpen. Kranick pitched okay. Reed Garrett pitched well, but you just don't have enough arms. Callum, how's it going? Appreciate you being here with us today. It is top of the 9th inning. Mets are down 4-2. Ty Adcock pitching to Pavin Smith. Diamondbacks have a runner on first with 2 outs. Hey, Rashawn, welcome back. Hope you got good sleep last night. Because it was like 3 a.m., right, when you were last with us? That's inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. This is why it's so hard to bring up relief pitchers from the minors. It's so hard because you got to come in. You have to be on right away. And he walks them. So a hit and a walk. This is not what you want to do when you're coming up from the minors. When you get the call to the show, don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. All right. We've got slowing down for a meeting at the mound. Because that's what it's going to be. They're going to drag this out as long as we can here. All right, come on, Ty Adcock. Let's just get this figured out. You just got to get 1 out. First pitch is a ball low. I feel for these guys. You come up, the nerves got to be crazy. But ultimately, you still have a job to do. You got to figure out how to get these guys out. That's inside. 2 balls, no strikes. You got to breathe. You got to stay calm. You have to breathe because it's the same basics we teach the little leaguers. You got to just take that extra breath on the mound. That's inside. Naylor's helmet fell off and he caught it. 3-0. It's like this is not on Mendoza. Like you don't have anybody left in this bullpen. If you want to go anywhere with blame, this is where I don't think you really need to blame anyone, but this comes back to just the whole roster configuration. And the Mets are going to make moves for their bullpen before the trade deadline because there's, like I've said multiple times, doesn't matter what day. You could pick any day the month of April, whatever that bullpen was in the month of April. There's 0% chance that will be the bullpen going into the playoffs. There's a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. Josh Naylor at the plate. Ty Adcock making his first appearance for the Mets this season, just called up in the rotating musical chairs that is suddenly the Mets bullpen. It's a foul ball hit the bat. They're going to say it hit the bat. Naylor says it hit him. Let's see. What did it actually hit? Coop, how's it going? Let's go Mets, baby. Oh, it's catcher's interference. I don't know. So it was not called catcher's interference. Coop, how's it going? Let's go Mets, baby. This umpiring crew has been atrocious, guys. Like, this call is going against the Diamondbacks, and I still will call it atrocious unless they get it fixed. Yeah, they're going to challenge us, and they're going to win this. So it's going to be catcher's interference once they review it here. That will load up the bases here. All right, so bases are going to be loaded with 2 outs at the top of the 9th. The Diamondbacks are up 4-2. You're Turkish, Firat. Well, that's awesome. So they brought in Adcock with 2 out, nobody on in the 9th. Doesn't it feel like they should have just stuck with Reed Garrett at this point? All right. Eugenio Suarez is due up for the Diamondbacks. This game has just been boring. It's been a boring baseball game today. First pitch, Suarez is swinging. That's surprising because Adcock's been all over the place. I don't see any reason why you would want to swing at that first pitch there, but he did. So fouls it back. It's going to be 0-1 count. Maybe that's what Adcock needs to get this figured out here. Just need to get the out. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's nowhere to put him. They're talking about Daniel Nunez. Suarez fouls that one back. So they're saying the reason Daniel Nunez has not been called up is because the Mets actually have other moves coming up, like bringing up the starter for the game on Sunday. So they need to have the flexibility by having a guy who can go up and down. Just foul tipped it into the glove and he didn't call it. This umpire's crew is horrible, guys. Yeah, clearly. Popped up to the infield. Lindor is under it. This umping crew, my goodness. I'll be ready. I'll be ready to see it. Dana Barry Sports Highlights. Let's go, Mets, baby. All right. We're finally through all of that chaos and boringness. It is. I'm going to tell you who's due up for the Mets because it doesn't mean that's who's coming up. Due up is Luis Torrens, Jeff McNeil, Tyrone Taylor. The Mets are down by 2 going to the bottom of the ninth. They have on their bench a decent bench. And guys, you can mix and match. You have Luis Angel Acuna, Francisco Alvarez, who could hit for Torrens here if you wanted to, Jose Azocar, and Starling Marte. So there's lots of pieces that can mix and match in here. So whatever matchup you kind of want, like any one of those 4 guys can pinch hit for any of these guys. So for example, you could bring in Alvarez for Torrens if you wanted. You could leave McNeil in, and then you could bring in Acuna for Tyrone Taylor, and then you could shift McNeil to center field, let Acuna take over second base if it goes to extra innings. So whatever the Mets want to do to give themselves the best shot at trying to score 2 runs to tie or 3 runs to win, they have that in their pocket. Of course, your number one goal here is turn this lineup over. You'll hear me say that time and time again. It's so important. Shelby Miller is going to be coming in to pitch for the Diamondbacks. He's replacing Kevin Ginkel. Okay, so Shelby Miller is going to be the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks. He's a righty. Everybody on the Mets bench is a righty as well. I see my family. I can hear my family got home even through my noise-canceling headphones. So we will, but we're going to stick with you. If it goes to extra innings, then I'll go out and say hi to him. But we're going to just stick with you because hopefully the Mets are just going to figure out how to win it right here. Rally Pig is 2 for 3 today, so we're going all in on Rally Pig. We're going all in on Rally Pig right here in the 9th. Mets have scored 2 runs today on 2 Juan Soto home runs. That's it. That's been the entirety of this entire offense today. So we'll see if the Mets are going to bring in anybody. So they're going to let Torrens hit. So hopefully he can work the count here. See some pitches at least. He flies it out to right field on the first pitch. What in the world are you doing? That's a horrible thing to do. First pitch? You're trying. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, so they didn't bring in Alvarez, and Torrens flies out on the first pitch. All right. Well, plan B. Jeff McNeil needs to get on base. This team's plate discipline. McNeil squares around the bunt and does not offer. It's going to be 1 ball, no strikes. He's trying to drag bunt. All right, here's the 1-0 pitch to McNeil. Grounded hard, but right to the first baseman, tossed over to the pitcher. McNeil is out. So the Mets have seen a total of 3 pitches and recorded 2 outs here. This team. Sometimes it feels like this has to be the worst, best team in baseball ever. Just feels that way sometimes. All right, so not going to the bench at all here. First pitch to Tyrone Taylor's in for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. I don't understand. We'll be live tomorrow night, by the way. It's a later game, And pitch 2 is a strike right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes, Tyrone Taylor. Can't even get one base runner on to get this flipped over to Lindor. That's the ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, I mean, the player of the game is Juan Soto. So 2 home runs, the only offense. And of all the days from the 2 home runs, he picks the day where not a single base runner could get on ahead of him. So that's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyrone Taylor's trying to, because you've got Lindor on deck. One of the best players in baseball on deck. You got to get on base. The fundamentals of this team is just so frustrating. Taylor hits a slow grounder to shortstop. They're going to call him out. Might as well challenge it. You got to challenge it. Nope, they're not even going to challenge it. Yeah, he's way out. The fundamentals of this team today, they had second and third with 1 out, couldn't score a run. This team's got to take a hard look in the mirror here. It's their second 2-game losing streak of the year. Well, I appreciate you guys. We will be live tomorrow night. Let's see if going back against St. Louis will kind of fix some of the wounds that we have. I do appreciate all of you. We might be live later tonight. We'll see. So D-Rose, you got to figure out, tell me how to fix it. How are you going to fix the mentality? That's not just an easy thing to do. That's a culture thing that you got to do. But appreciate everybody. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe on the way out. Star of the game is Juan Soto with his 2 home runs. So he showed up, but nobody else did today. Appreciate all of you. And we will see you guys all tomorrow night. Have a great night, everybody.